Hi guys. Hello. Very, very much neglected YouTube. Hi. Honestly, I thought I couldn't do worse than 2023, 2024. 3 videos. Three, and that's including my YouTube subversary, which I feel like shouldn't count when you only do 3 videos a year. A hair video I did, which was doing fun buns overnight, which I haven't done since. I'll be entirely honest. It was an experiment. It was fine, but basically once I brushed it out, I just went poofy. In fact, if you go to my Instagram, I did like 5 water appreciations the same day I did that hair bun video, and so my hair kind of starts off slightly curly, and then like there's at least one, I think, when I'm wearing my black dress where my hair's just huge. And then my targets, my crafting targets for 2024 video, and that's all the videos I did in 2024. So I figured I could start off this year with a new targets for crafting and also a response video as such to my previous video to see what I actually managed to achieve since last year, and also show my even less compelling backdrop than last year. Last year I had the tapestry up here. The tapestry has been moved down to my kitchen. I haven't yet put it up in my kitchen because my kitchen wall is not plasterboard. So in order to put up the tapestry, I need to borrow the help of my dad's power drill, which means that I also need to let my dad take his time measuring, making sure he's got the right bits and bobs and doodads, because he doesn't do anything unless it's done properly. So less compelling background back here, less compelling outfit, because I feel like last winter was very mild, and this year it's been pretty chilly, so I'm wearing 2 sweaters. It's not the most flattering look in the world. In fact, let's pop a button just to make it slightly less frumpy old lady. There we go. Oh my gosh, you can see a little bit of clavicle. But yes, this part, much more compelling. So all of my cosplay stuff is now on this side of the room, along with my cosplay mirror, which is reflecting my swords and my cat tree, which I'm completely happy with that. And at the moment, the sewing machine is here. It may or may not stay here. I don't know. I did have Tedbert up on this stool back here until I tidied the Christmas decorations away. So for now, I don't mind it being here. It's kind of like, hey, if I'm doing gaming, look, I'm also a sewing person. And it's right there for if I need to do any sewing in the future. Also behind my big pile of cosplay stuff that you can see in this corner, my new ironing board, well, old ironing board, new ironing board cover is back there. Yeah, so anyway, that's the visual update. I haven't filmed from this side since I took the tapestry down. I've done so few gaming streams, and almost all of the streams I have done have been from the cozy love seat, rather than being sat here at my desk chair, which you can see behind me. This is embroidered by moi. This is the first time also doing a stream from this side on my new desk. So I got a desk specifically that had legroom on both sides of the desk. So officially the desk faces around the other way. So it actually officially should be used facing the love seat. However, I can get my legs under it and sit on a chair on this side, and it works absolutely fine. And I've got a little sort of stand up here so I can put my secondary laptop up here and still have desk space. So even though what you guys are seeing is fundamentally less compelling here, a bit better here, what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is much more comfy cozy, and I've got my poof underneath the chair, so my feet are lovely and warm and snuggly, which I'm a big fan of. So yes. Am I rambly enough? How long will this video be? I did say last year it was going to be an old school rambly video for Jenny. Same again, I guess. But yes, this is kind of, we've done the year in review of what I did on YouTube. Pretty much nothing. My Twitch stuff last year, also really uncompelling. I think I did maybe 2 or 3 gaming days. I feel like I finished Slay the Spire in 2023, and I don't think I think I did a couple, I can't remember, even if it was in 2024, that I did a little bit of Spirit Finder, Soulfarer, and yeah, I'm pretty sure Soulfarer and Cozy Grove was both 2023. So I don't think I've really played any games at all in 2024, which means that my Twitch was mostly crafting, which of the crafting that I showed on stream, not much of it was successful. But I have actually written a little list in my little 2025 diary of the crafts that I intended to do in 2024 and one I actually succeeded on, so we can actually go through that. And then I also have my list of 2025 crafts that I want to start once I finished the ones that were on my 2024 list, which I do intend to do before I do anything else. So starting off from the top, candles. I did successfully tick that off, make some homemade candles last year. So me and my sister got out, she bought me a bucket barbecue, and we sat outside in the summer, in the sunshine, on one of the rare sunny days this year, and we did wax candle making. I got an old cardboard box, I put a load of old jam jars in there, we tied some wicks, we fed them through the bottom of old tea light holders, put the tea light holders in the bottom, tied off the wicks, melted down the wax on top of the bucket barbecue, which was not very hot. And eventually managed to fill up some candles. Was it a success? Not very much. So the candles I made were okay, but I made it just with normal, like, gardening cotton string, which is fine, but I'm almost certain that you can buy proper, like, candle making string. I couldn't be bothered. I wanted to be free. So as I suspected would happen, a lot of the wicks while burning kind of curled up on themselves, and were less stable. I did then make a second round of candles using the leftovers from those candles and another round of fresh candles and fresh wax that I got. And with those ones I experimented with doing a dual wick. So I did 2 strings tied together. I didn't put the tea light in the bottom, and that worked better but still not great. And try the third, I used wood wicks. So I got basically wooden stirring sticks, and I put 2 of those together, and so far those have burnt the best, and I really like the sound of the wood wicks. I don't know necessarily if I'll continue using that technique, but I do have more wax to melt into the next round of candles once I've finished. I've got a couple of tea lights I'm going to use up first, and then I'm going to burn some more candles, and then once we have enough wax we will do another round of candle making. So I think that'll just be part of my cycle in terms of candling and not candling, so that's good. Mimi, my new cat, is just contemplating whether or not she's going to snuggle up on the cat bed. I don't think she will. We will see. She's grooming. My new cat, by the way. Ha 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 ha! Anyway, this is so YouTube. This is so YouTube. This is what YouTubers do, right? Single takes where you just chat and you manually turn your webcam around. That's what YouTube is nowadays, right? Right? Anyway. So candle making, big success, big tick. I think will just become part of my cycle of candle wax as it comes. I'm using up, as I said, some tea lights at the moment. Then I've got a load more old candles to use up. And then once I have more wax, I will cycle them as need be. I always have a constant supply of jam jars. Wood wicks seem to work better. Every day is a learning curve. Halloween costume, another tick. So I didn't mute my phone. Smooth. So Halloween costumes. You can see the blue sparkly of my Wendy dress that I did for Halloween at Disney, which honestly I'm so happy with. I'm really happy with the final look. I felt like a princess. I wasn't too sweaty. It was very hot in Florida. Like some of the time I was fine, and some of the time I felt like I literally was dying. Like I think the times when there was even a couple of times where I was almost cold, but the times where I can remember feeling just too hot was when I first got to Disney Park in this dress, and it was during a parade, and it was just too much. And then once the sun started to go down, it was lovely and absolutely fine. I was really comfortable in said dress. The other time I was just not comfortable was at the Ren Fair. I'm glad that I changed costumes for the Ren Fair. I was originally going to do this gown back here, this dark green, and you can see the green on the inside. It's hard to see through the black netting. I was going to do this big ball gown in green and black with a crown that I bought, and do like a fae thing. Glad I didn't make that decision. That would have been impossibly, disgustingly horrible to wear. Instead, I wore a white blouse and did a sort of Victorian-esque vibe, which I was really, really happy with, using my pumpkin skirt that I made the year before. So again, reusing, big fan of reusing. The Wendy dress, hugely happy with it. I felt like a princess. I honestly felt like such a princess, and honestly, all the pictures with me, Falcon, and my sister, so good. It was every single time we saw a Wendy performer go past in the parades, they were like, I was like, so happy with the look, really pleased with how it turned out. And honestly, very simple and like bedazzling things, takes forever, so much joy from the amount of sparkle. Really love how the bow came out. I need an excuse to wear the costume again, I'm not gonna lie. I really, really enjoyed it. The WandaVision Scarlet Witch costume, which is, it's on the far side of this, so you can see it is like, it's right next to the Ada dress, so it's almost impossible to see. You can see just at the bottom, there we go, we've got the orange of the pumpkin skirt that I wore to Ren Fair, and then you can see the little ruffle right just barely out of reach, just here, which was the Wanda Maximoff Disney bound costume. Also really happy with that. That was another day when I was really hot. I think that was a day when, I can't remember why I was so hot, but I was really hot. I wore heels all day for both the Wendy and the WandaVision costume. And I think that dress, because I did say it would probably be too hot. It is a autumnal British dress, so it's quite heavy anyway, and then they added an extra heavy skirt on top of it with a ruffle. It was quite heavy, and I think we just had a lot of sun exposure that day, so by the time we were done with Disney Hollywood Studios, so professional, by the time we were done with Disney Hollywood Studios and done with Star Wars, that zone, I changed into a lighter dress before doing Epcot, which I was glad of, and Epcot was also towards the end of the evening, so it was much cooler. I kept the heels on. The heels were fine. I'll be entirely honest, the heels were fine, but the dress I think was just a bit too heavy and a bit too warm for me. But to be honest, it's good enough to wear for actual Halloween, so I might have to do some costume streams because I really love that dress. And one Disney employee recognized the costume. One Disney employee recognized the costume. Other people were like, "Oh, cute dress." One Disney employee was like, "Oh, is that Scarlet Witch?" And I was like, which honestly brings me so much joy, and brings me back to when I used to do like anime conventions, and when you have that, oh my god, you're that character. I haven't done that in so long, and I really miss it. I don't know whether or not I have time, energy, or budget to do any conventions this year, or that much interest necessarily in doing like, I'm used to doing like anime conventions. I'm not really used to just like general comic conventions. A lot of that is so commercialized. Like I'd like to do something that is more activities focused and less commercial. And I don't really know which conventions do that. But the joy of seeing something that you recognize the reference to, or someone recognizing your reference, is so nice. I went to Oxford City Comic Con before the pandemic, ages ago. Must have been either 2018 or 2019, summer 2018, 2019, and there was a woman dressed as Granny Weatherwax wearing a sign saying "I ain't dead," and like that is a niche reference. If you get it, you're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" And if you don't get it, you'll be like, "What that?" And I love that joy, and having at least one Disney employee be like, "Scarlet Witch!" I was like, yes! So really happy with that. So Halloween costumes, big old tick. Really happy with that. Really happy with the Wendy costume. Really happy with the Wanda Maximoff costume. Did I end up doing any other costumes? I kind of did like a sort of light adventuring costume for Universal, but I don't think anyone would have noticed. I wore heels. I got a couple of people going, "Oh my god, you're wearing heels to a park," and I was like, yeah. That's what I do. But yeah, that was pretty much the only costumes I did, but I think 3 is plenty. It was interesting to do like a sort of Gibson girl Victorian look for the Ren Fair, because the Ren Fair was surprisingly Tudor. It was actually almost Renaissance-y. Obviously most of it was fantasy, but the actual like performers and everyone was more Renaissance. Very fun, very hot, very dusty. Like, honestly, there's a point where I got like my white blouse and like did this across my face, and it was like literally came away brown. And like blowing my nose at the end of the day. Whew. But really happy with those costumes. Halloween costume, big tick. Pipe corner. This is not something I think it's something that I mentioned kind of offhand. There was a couple of things I wanted to do in my house last video. So when I got my boiler replaced, we stripped out all of the very shoddily done woodwork that was in that corner of the kitchen, which covered up all of the exposed pipes. And we're a bit nervous about what to put back over it, because potentially if they need to service the boiler, they won't have access to those pipes. So my sister, good egg that she is, took me to a salvage wood shop. We worked out what wood we need. We bought some very old floorboards, and we made a custom little sort of L-shaped unit that can slide in on top of those pipes, but if they do need to move it, we can just slide it away. And then I stained it. I went back to the wood salvage shop and bought some wooden trim to kind of make it look finished, and then I put some pictures up on it, and I'm so happy with that corner of the kitchen now. Every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh. So I ticked that off. I can't remember if I specifically mentioned it in my 2024 targets, but it was one of the housework things that I wanted to get done, so I'm really happy with that. Baubles. Again, this was something that I forgot to mention, but I was fully intending to do. So for Christmas 2023, I made one glass bauble out of a broken wine glass, which I think I gave away on stream. I can't remember who won it, but I did a random draw community thing and sent them the glass bauble I made, which then in 2024, every time I liaised with the appropriate departments, and so every time a glass was broken, you're right, Neen? This is what it's going to be like to have a cat in this house. What's up? What's going on? I hope that came up on the microphone. That was really heckin' cute. What you doing? I got a cat. I don't know if that counts as crafting. I made some furniture in order for her to have good furniture stuffs. And the house is very clean. And my mental health is very good. Who knew? I built a better mental health for the sake of a cat. But yes, so I made a pipe covering, which I'm really happy with. The glass baubles, that's what I was going through. So the glass baubles I then made really a bit late. They'd been sat literally, so every time a broken glass was found where the stem had snapped or the base was chipped, but the ball of the wine glass was still whole, I got to take that home. And so I had about maybe 20 or 30 by the end of December, at which point I was like, oh, I want to actually give gifts to people. And so very hurriedly worked out how to do it. I bought some just clear Gorilla Glue. I cut up some leftover fabric scraps from my stash. I put some random assorted jewelry bits that were in my things, and I basically put one random item into each of them, and then made the base covered up with a bit of fabric, like kind of imagine like how you used to wrap jam jars, like old-fashioned jam jars where it's wrapped in like cheesecloth on the top. It was kind of like that, but on the bottom, with random things put inside of it. So I've used up a bunch of my random like bits and bobs from my crafting drawer. So the one that I kept because I really liked it was my old dragon earring that was an ear cuff. I put that inside one of the lights with one of the baubles with some crystals in there, and it looks like the dragon's like, my precious. There was one which I put like a little boot in, and one that I put a little badge that had a Santa on it that I got from Christmas years ago, and one which I put a little snake little thing that I found, I think, in a car park somewhere. And then I'm very distracted by the cat, can you tell? This can be a very long video. Holy moly. I'm glad I'm filming it in low definition, so it won't take 4 hours. But yes, so I just put a load of random stuff in there, and then I glued a ribbon around the neck and hung that from the ribbon. And so then I just brought, for my D&D friends, I basically opened up some of my spare dice sets and put a single dice into each of them. And so I think I gave away like 8 or 9. It was more than that. like 10, 11, I just gave to my D&D guys. They all had D20s in, which I was really happy with, and I got some lovely compliments. Again, they are trial and error. I didn't have enough time, so I literally did this. My last working day before we broke up for the holidays was the 20th. I think I did all of these on the, like, 19th in order to do my D&D ones, and then after the 20th I then came home and I finished off all of the other ones. So I didn't actually give any to my colleagues. That was something that I always used to do. I used to always give a little homemade Christmas doodad to each of my colleagues every Christmas. They did not get anything this year. I did not have time. This year was a sprint to the finish to get to December. So I have them all ready to go. So next Christmas I can give away said homemade baubles, and I'm pretty happy with how they turned up. I still have about maybe 15 glasses still in my kitchen, which they all were not badly damaged enough. They were enough to be rejected for being useful for a professional circumstance, but I personally don't think they're that bad, and so I feel bad like taking the hammer to the stems for no reason. So I might donate them to charity because I really don't think they're that bad, and we'll see how we go on that. But big success on that one. Resin art, I mentioned that I want to experiment with some more resin art. I didn't get a chance to do too much resin art, but I did have enough time to do a little resin doodad for all of the folks that I met in Florida. What I did was I asked them for the year of their birth and managed to find a British coin for each of them, and then I made a little resin tea light for each of them, a little resin candle holder for each of them with that coin in the resin. So unfortunately some of them turned out a bit bubbly, so they can't actually read the numbers on the coin, but I promise the coin that they were given is the one that was minted in the year of their birth, which hopefully is a nice touch. I don't know, but I did do some resin art. And the other thing that I talked about in quite a lot of detail is my witch's hat, which I decided not to interline it with silver foil as I haven't put any lights into it, but it's currently doing it live. Doing it live on recorded video. But yes, it's currently up here. You can see it. It's hard to point. There we go. Hanging up on the wall above my antlers, which I got at the Ren Fair, and the scissors that I got at the Ren Fair, and all of that jazz. So very happy with that. I've now renewed my something on your head. Sorry, I'm leaning right into the microphone. I'm probably very loud. Hug for everyone. I renewed my something on the head redemption for Twitch, so that can theoretically be something that could be put on my head. Because it's cardboard, it's not the most comfortable thing to wear, and when I do wear it, I end up with like a little ridge mark across here, but it is super cute. I haven't decided to decorate it seasonally yet, but maybe that's something that I can kind of do as and when. I could probably just put some flower crowns on it, to be honest, and that will probably do the trick, but I'm very happy with it. I need to at some point put on a pretty dress, go out into a field and do like a full photo shoot with it, because I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's super cute. So yes, that is the things that I actually managed to make in 2024. It was not the most successful crafting year. There's quite a few things that I started, but I have not finished. Notably, I'm not going to respin the camera, but you may have noticed on top of my love seat, in fact I will because I'm a hypocrite, you might see on top of my sofa we have a cushion, a white homemade cushion atop the sofa, kind of curving out the top. So the plan with that is going to be the new top of the sofa. I did make a cardboard back for it initially, and I lined it with styrofoam. I had a load of leftover packaging from making furniture, and I decided I wasted almost a whole bottle of PVA glue trying to put all of the layers of foam and cardboard together to build up the back. And then I made the cushion. I was like, I don't need to have a cardboard back into this, because once I make the cover for my love seat, then that will kind of self-support anyway. The cushion's not going to go anywhere. It's not like it's going to fall to the back or fall to the front. It's pretty chunky. So that is started. So basically the entire thing is stuffed with fabric scraps. I had quite an aggressive scrap haul. I went through all of my bits and bobs of my tiny little scraps, and I was quite aggressive in this is not usable. When am I going to use a bit of fabric this big? So any fabrics that I have an attachment to, nostalgia, it's important in some way, I have kept separate, and I'm going to be doing a swatch book in 2025, which I've not written down, but I will add that now. So I'm going to be doing a swatch book. So basically I will take a little sample from any fabrics that I work with, particularly if they're pretty, and glue that into the book and make a little note about what that fabric was, why it was important and all that jazz. And that way, if the fabric is usable, if it can be made into something reasonable, then great, and I can put it back in my fabric stash. But if it's not usable, if it's just like stringy bits that are really not useful, that can go into stuffing and coleslaw, as the term might be. So the process has started for the sofa. I've got the fabric, I even ironed the fabric because I was intending to get it done before the little black cat arrived, but I haven't had time. So it's a good start, and I did this literally just before New Year's, so technically it was still 2024. So that's in process. It's in process. Basically, I have a little tiny project which I put into the 2024 thing, but definitely wasn't part of my initial 2024 plans, which is I'm planning on making some head towel scarf things. So you'll see a lot online with all of these professional hair people where they do like a hair towel and then they pin it up instead of doing like a wrapping with a cotton towel. I have my sister's old dressing gown, which she didn't think it was good enough to be able to give to charity or to sell on any of those like recycled clothing websites. So she gave it to me for fabric scraps, and I've cut up most of it. I made a little bag out of the pockets. I made a bunch of hair scrunchies out of the tie, and then I cut up the rest of the seams, and I'm planning on making at least 2 headscarves or head wrappings with it. One maybe for drying my hair after washing it, and one maybe for wearing in the shower when I'm not washing my hair. I'm now only washing my hair once a week, so having that as an option might be a really good way of using up the scraps. Once that is done, hopefully I'll have some more leftover quite squishy fabric just to fill up the end of the cushion, to hopefully get that cushion full enough to be able to start making the cover for the settee, and hopefully that won't take too long and I can get the settee covered. I don't know whether or not I will have enough fabric to do the seat of the chair as well as the back of the chair and the arms, but I think as long as I get the back of the seat and the arms done, I'll be content. Mimi's favourite place so far, she's been home less than a week, is the love seat, and so I don't necessarily want to cover up the seat of the chair because that's where she really loves to be, so I don't want to make her less comfortable, given that is literally her number one spot. So we'll see how that pans out. But I think if the arms and the back of the chair is done, that will make me happier because that's what I look at. I don't look at where I'm actually sat, I look at where I'm sat, if that makes sense. So that is in process, but by no means done. Similarly, the Elizabeth dressing gown. So for those of you who were watching on Twitch during 2024, the original plan for VidCon, for Falcon / JennyCon / Trip to Florida, Disney, etc., was to do Elizabeth Swan's night dress and dressing gown from Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, which I did not have time to finish. And also midway through working on, I was like, even though the intention here is really clear, it is going to be too hot. It will be too long to wear to Disney because they have restrictions about skirts draping on the floor. We're going to do a group costume for Mickey's Not So Scary anyway. That's the only time I could wear it. We're not going to be doing it as Pirates of the Caribbean group cosplay. We're going to be doing Peter Pan. So I can't wear it for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Maybe I'll wear it to Ren Fair. And then just the closer we got to Ren Fair and getting the prep done for that, I was like, this is just not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get it finished. I don't want to ruin it at Ren Fair. It's going to be too hot. In hindsight, I'm so glad I didn't wear it to Ren Fair because it was so dusty and so hot. It would be completely wrecked. And it would also just have been too hot. Even if I went in just the night dress part of it, which I didn't have time to either finish or purchase regardless, the night dress would have been kind of like, what's that? A dress? And the dressing gown would have just been ruined. So I'm glad in a way that I didn't finish it and take it to Florida because it would have just been too much, but it's definitely not finished. So the thing I still need to do with that is I need to sew all of the lining to the outer, which should basically hem it as well. And then I need to trim all that hem. And then I need to do finishing touches like the pockets, and maybe the neckline, and make a sash for it. So there's still, it's like 80% done, but I've literally made no progress on it in months. So that's on the to-do. I have no idea how long this video is. This video is gonna be so long. Oh my gosh, how long have I been talking? Do I even have the stats for how long I've been talking? I've been talking for half an hour. Woof. Okay. Hair towel I've already talked about. Paint table. So this is just a little project, but I've written it on the 2024 because I was planning on doing it before New Year's. I have not done it. It should only be like literally a 2-hour project, but basically, this is my new desk. Oh, it's so lovely. You might have seen it while flipping the camera around. I want to keep this desk clean of paint, clean of glue, any crafty things that might damage this desk. It wasn't a hugely expensive desk. It's not, made of hardwood or anything. But I want to keep this desk healthy and happy. So any messy projects, any projects that are going to be gloopy or painty, I want to not do on this desk. So the desk that I originally had, that I used, which is much, much smaller than this desk, is a little hexagonal desk, is currently in my bathroom because I couldn't be bothered to carry it downstairs. Also, I don't really know where I'd put it downstairs. To be honest, it looks quite good in the bathroom. My bathroom's a very odd shape, and having a little bit of extra surface space is not a bad thing. But it doesn't match with the bathroom. So what I'm thinking is, I think I have some leftover bathroom paint from when I initially painted my bathroom, a kind of pale blue-green. And so I think what I will do is I will refresh that table, I will sand it down and give it a fresh coat of bathroom paint so that it can live in the bathroom where it's right next to my crafting room. If I need it, all I have to do is pop into that room and carry it through. So if I am doing like a messier crafting stream or a stream where I don't want to get glue or paint or anything on this desk, I can just pop it at the end of this desk, move my chair around, and that way I have more surface space, and if it does get dirty or gloopy or painty, I really don't care. And this desk can stay at least moderately healthy and happy. So that will be it's literally just sand and paint. And then I will have a desk that I can just move in and out when I need it. It will also give me theoretically more table space if I'm doing any large fabric projects. So that will be useful for me as well. Stays. I was planning on making like corset tops or like, cottagecore stays of some kind. I have 2 sets of fabric. I don't know if you can hear her when she meeps. But yes, I have 2 sets of fabric that I was planning on using to make stays. And I haven't yet had the chance to do that. So I need to do that at some point. I have a couple of like nice kind of cotton blouses that I've acquired over the past couple of months, over the last year or so from charity shops, which are just begging. They are peasant shirts begging for a set of stays. So I think that'll be a fun project to do, particularly as it's very popular and it might be cute and it's a good way of stash busting and it's a good challenge, and it might get me towards learning a bit more about underpinnings and things like corsetry, which is a very complicated subject in terms of crafting. So I do want to do that. I just haven't had a chance to do that. Peasant slip or dress, I talked in quite a lot of detail in 2024 about how I want to get better at doing comfortable fastenings and comfortable seams and practice that on clothing that I'm going to wear underneath my clothing, specifically in natural fibres, so that when it's freaking freezing like it is right now in the UK, I can wear items that are going to be breathable against my skin, but as an extra layer. And I got a little bit into it. I started making one. I hand sewed the main key components for a little slip dress while hanging out at my friend's house over the summer. It might have been late spring. It was warm. It was one of the few really warm times. And I made some progress on it, but I didn't finish it. And then part of me got kind of looped in on myself because I had hand sewn it. I was like, I want to finish this by hand. And then I was like, but I'm home now and I have a sewing machine. Wouldn't it be 1,000 times easier for me to just machine sew it? And I got kind of stuck in that feedback loop of, I started hand sewing it, should I finish hand sewing it? Why would I do that when I have a sewing machine? And made literally zero progress at all. So that's something I would like to look into. Part of me still wants to build Elizabeth Swan's full night dress, which looks so comfy and so beautiful. And I kind of want to do it, but I also want to try and save some money this year and bust some stash. I want to use up what I've already bought instead of buying more fabrics. So I've got plenty of work to do without focusing on that. So that can be push that far down the line. In fact, you know what? Should I add it to my 2025 goals? It's in there. Right. Hair towel I've already talked about. Table paint I've already talked about. Stays I've already talked about. Peasant slip. Slankets. I still haven't made any slankets. So I described slankets last year. So my sister does a thing where she does patchwork using old socks. So when socks are dead or they've lost their partner, you cut those babies up, you turn them into patches, you turn them into patchwork. And so you get the joy of saying, oh, that sock was cool without having to worry about the fact that there's a hole in the heel or a hole in the toe. Theoretically, I can darn socks and I can repair them. I cannot be bothered. And frankly, I like having pillow stuffing. So I will probably end up doing that at some point soon, particularly this season. As I said, it's hecking cold. I do want some hot water bottle covers. I just bought myself a fresh batch of hot water bottle covers because 2 of my hot water bottles died. RIP hot water bottles. May you rest in pieces. I was trying to come up with a pun, my brain cut off. But yes, I will be hopefully making some slankets pretty soon. I have socks. I have base fabric. I have hot water bottles that need covers. I think having hot water bottle covers would be very useful for me to extend the life of hot water bottles and also to stop myself from constantly burning myself. And that's a small patchwork project. Patchwork is one of those things that theoretically I love. I love the busting stashes and saving waste fabric. Aesthetically, I don't like it. Aesthetically, I don't find patchwork my vibe. I love to see it in other places. It makes me so happy when I go to other places and see it, but I don't necessarily want patchwork in my house. So hot water bottle covers are perfect because most of the time I don't see hot water bottles because they're under blankets or they're under my clothes. They're snuggled up or nice and warm with me. So I think it's a perfect kind of synergy of all the things that need to happen while also hopefully being all good. And that's it for the 2024 targets. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 done. 1, 2, 3, 4 things started, and 1, 2, 3 things completely not started. So not a bad average. Could be worse, could be better. And a lot of these will actually be really small once I start them. So I think the sofa can probably take a couple of hours to do. The Elizabeth dressing gown, probably a couple more hours. I think that's probably the most intensive. The hair towel, maybe an hour or 2. Like, it really should be very simple. The painting the table, once I've sanded it, 20 minutes. Stays will be a bit more comprehensive. Peasant slips I've got to work on. Slanket covers will be kind of a little project that I can work away at. So yeah, not too bad. Targets thus far for 2025. How long did it take me to get this? Like nearly 40 minutes to get to the actual 2025 target. Well, kitchen tapestry. So I can't see what she's doing right now. She's out on the landing. Hi, Bean. What's up? Yeah? So cute. Don't think you'll be able to see her unless I move you down. This is what YouTube does, right? YouTube's full of non-live camera movement. Yeah, this is so YouTube. This is just me talking to myself to my camera live for 40 minutes. You can see my slippers too. And this is going to be the dressing gown that will turn into a headscarf. But yes, so... so dumb. What is YouTube format? What is YouTube algorithm? Certainly not this girl. Right, and wasn't even looking at the camera. Certainly not this girl. Okay, right. Let's move you guys back here and assume she'll be all right. Yeah. So the kitchen tapestry. So the tapestry that was back here behind me needs to be moved down to the kitchen. I need my dad's help to do that. I've already kind of explained that. The panels. So what's going to go in front of this wall instead is my dad has approved my theory for how to make this work. So basically what I'm going to do is I bought some panels. Very similar to the ones that were over the other side of the room that I stained and put up myself. And then what I have done is I bought hinges and I bought backboards. So basically what will happen is the backboards will go in place and slightly lift off the front of the frame for this. So it will come forward about an inch. And then this will be hinged here. So I'm basically going to create a door so that if they do need to do boiler service, they can get in through this panel, which is stuck on with tape, and this panel, which is official. And in the meantime, it's an aesthetic looking, nice panelled wall. However, in order to do the panels with the sloping, which is above me, my posture's so bad when my camera's low. Let's get you up a little bit. As you can see, the ceiling is sloped here. So in order to do the panels, first thing I need to do is I need to drive the panels, which I purchased, to a shop with a table saw and cut that diagonal on both the panels that I need. So I wish that I could have found a panel which was wide enough to do the whole wall. I cannot. If you look very carefully, you can see the pencil sketches. So one of the panels will come to about here, and that will be the one that's a door that will open out this way. And this one, there'll be one that comes from here to here. And just sits and is just slightly off the centre of the wall, and then that will also need to be cut narrower as well as being cut on the slope. So that I need to drive to a proper shop to do first. Once I've gone to the shop, had the cuts made, then it'll be a matter of gluing or nailing the boards to the wall, doing the hinges, staining it all, and then hopefully behind me will be a nice brown fake panelled, fake door aesthetic thing, and my camera's decided that I don't have a face. So that's in process, but I do need to, the person that I went to before, the business that I went to before to cut panels previously, when I did my panels for the other side of the room, their table saw is currently broken apparently, so I do need to go to a different place. So that's in process, but point the first is I need to cut the panels, stain the panels, stick them all together, and then hopefully we can get that going. So that's a 2025 goal. Mascot costumes, and this is, I think I put this in my 2024 goals. I should be on the 2024 page, to be honest, because I did none. I made one lanyard. Actually, that is a lie. I did one lanyard, so there is now a third mascot I'm responsible for in its own way. I finally did the one for my bestie. They changed jobs. So I had bought a long time ago a pug from a charity shop, a little stuffed pug doll toy from a charity shop in order to do a costume for their previous workplace. They then left that workplace, so I kept the pug, and now that they are currently working in a different place, I made that pug a lanyard so that they can have it at their desk. And so far, the cutest thing in the universe is apparently people have been sneaking in during Christmas and putting Christmas hats on said pug. So I did make one mascot costume in 2024 by nature of the lanyard. I have not made any other components. I was going to make him a Halloween costume. I did not have time. So that is something I do want to work on. I've forgotten how much joy it brings me just thinking about that. And that was 2023. I didn't do any in 2024 apart from that lanyard. So I do want to do more miniature costumes for mascots. Maybe we'll do like a little like mascot costumes for some of the dolls that are like part of the stream. Maybe Dr. Duck deserves like a little jacket or something. I mean, he doesn't have arms. He doesn't have wings either. He's just a blob. This could be an interesting tailoring challenge. We'll see. Swatch book I've already put down. Elizabeth 90 I've also put down. And there was something else that I thought of that I was going to write down and I have not. No idea what that was. But those are the crafting targets and review from 2024 to 2025. I've got quite a lot to do. I'm having a bit of a, like, trying to be productive couple of days at the moment. I'm getting back a lot of loo time from last year. Last year I overworked. quite a lot. As well as not getting holiday that I was required to take and not getting bank holidays that I was required to take. So at the moment I'm on a little bit of a Christmas holiday overage. I've got a couple of extra days off than I would normally have. So I'm hoping to get some of those tasks ticked off by and by. Maybe on stream, maybe not. We will see. Obviously I've got the distraction of a little black cat, who, as you've seen from the course of the 40 minutes, sometimes needs quite a lot of attention, sometimes is absolutely okay to ignore me, which he is now currently doing. But yes, so that is the crafting plans for 2025. In terms of other projects, the wardrobe appreciation project that was started in spring kind of died a death after October. I still have photos from October that I never posted. There is, I think, my brown wool skirt and 2 top options, which is literally on my computer, ready for me to like just go through, work out, try and remember what year they were from, and put up. It's very autumnal. It's completely the wrong season for me to do that, but that is ready to go. I really didn't post any Instagram pictures from Florida, which I need to go through the pictures that we all put together, ask permissions from people to make sure I'm not posting anything that no one wants on the internet. And yeah, post some of those because honestly, some of it's so cute. Some of like the Wendy costume pictures, the pictures at Disney were just lovely. Some of the Ren Fair pictures were just really fun. It was so lovely meeting everyone. So I do need to put up some of those. And then the wardrobe appreciation project needs to continue because frankly, I still have too much clothes that are unloved. Yes, that is... Oh, another thing I forgot to say, talking about wardrobe appreciation and projects that were finished last year, I came to the decision last year that the little black dress that was featured on wardrobe appreciation with the white bows, as nice as it is, I'm never going to wear it again. But I have too much nostalgia attached to it. I believe, I can't remember what date I actually put on Instagram, but part of me it's like I remember buying it and my mum saying, maybe you could wear that for your job interviews when I was 16. So I'm thinking it might be like 15, 16 years old. I can't remember what date I put on Instagram, but that dress has been in my life so long. I just didn't want to let it go. I didn't want to like alter it knowing that I couldn't make it better. So I have turned it into a stuff bag, which now lives in my day bag. So if I go shopping and I need a bag super quickly, I can just pop it out and I have a dress, which is great. Stuff bag. There we go. That's something done from 2025. That ups my 2024 ups my project success. But yes, so we're getting there. Little by little, we're getting there. I'm really happy with kind of where I've gotten to with tidying up my house. So I kind of want to work on continuously clearing stuff away and finishing projects before I add more projects. I take that having added like 4 projects to my list, but it's all in process. There's a couple of other projects that I'm sure will come up. I think my mum's asked me to repair a skirt. I have no idea what she wants me to do with it. She's done some weird stuff with the elastic. I have no idea how I'm going to resolve it. But that is the projects. As I said, Instagram, I do want to get back on wardrobe appreciation projects. I've been trying to kind of get more back into that. I really do think it's an important thing to do to appreciate the clothing that you have. I kind of want to do just like a sweaters section where I'm just like cardigan, sweater, cardigan, sweater. Maybe that will be fun at some point. I don't think I fully appreciated all my summer clothes. I didn't post. I did buy a fast fashion dress for Christmas last year, which I figured was too summery to wear to the work Christmas party, so I ended up wearing it to my cousin's wedding. It's a really cute dress. I probably need to take pictures of it because oh my gosh, is it falling apart. So fast fashion. Which I've already done some repairs on it because it got a little bit wrecked after one day out for my cousin's wedding. I mean, in all fairness, I do wreck the dance floor when I'm at a wedding, but I've had to do repairs on it already, which is very sad. So I think I need to take some pictures of that at some point. It's a super cute dress. I have also bought myself a dress for this year's work Christmas party. Hopefully it'll arrive on time. I'll have to take pictures with that. I think there's quite a few dresses I haven't even taken pictures of from last year. So there's plenty of water appreciation still to come. Part of me wants to like break into like the classic like fairy fantasy photo shoot type things, but it's very hard to do as a one-person team. I'm not that talented, and I'm not that good at modeling. In order to do the water appreciation project, I have to take so many pictures. It's also like, in order to kind of do fantasy type photo shoots, you really have to go to a location, and to be honest, once I'm dressed in an outfit, I usually just go to my like little patio that's always in the water appreciation projects, which at the moment is in a state. That's crafting project aside, I need to clean the heck out of that patio. It is covered in mud. It is so messy. It needs some work, but that is house projects, not crafting projects, and not kind of internety projects. In terms of other things other than crafting, projects generally, I would like to find a game that I can kind of get into as deep as I did as Skyrim and Witcher 3. I kind of want like something quite engrossing and long term that I can like properly get into. I wish my laptop was possible to run Baldur's Gate 3. Let's be honest, it ain't. It ain't. I think I might have some old school D&D games on my Steam, so maybe I should try experimenting with one of those. TBC. But I do want to kind of find a game that I can come into and just carry on and kind of get lost in. Part of me wants to replay Lego Lord of the Rings because it was so good. I remember enjoying it so much. So maybe something like that might be good. In terms of other internety things, I feel like I need to do more YouTube. I need to do more YouTube. Obviously, this is the content that I am best at, where I'm literally just like, let me literally talk non-stop for nearly an hour. Ad hoc, no edits. No, like, insertion of, like, I did this project, look at this. Like, is this, like, painful for people who have got ADHD, who need, like, 20 cuts per second in order to feel like they're occupied? I don't know. Regardless, like, ADHD people have superpowers, let's be honest. Thank you all for hanging out. Yeah, I want to do more YouTube. I have no idea what I'm going to do with YouTube. I was planning on uploading my VODs from Twitch of the making of the Elizabeth dress. Obviously, I never finished making the Elizabeth thing, and now it's like, I couldn't even find the VOD even if I wanted to. I did start, like, talking about the Wendy dress and how I was converting something that was fast fashion into something that I could love and wear again, and how best to treat a synthetic fabric and all of this stuff. I filmed YouTube video. I filmed like the intro. I filmed like 2 or 3, like slowly steaming it. Like, it was a whole thing. I didn't do anything else. I am not made for editing. Maybe one day. I've got a bingo card for 2025, which so far is very ambitious, and I don't think I'm going to be able to achieve all the things on my 2025 bingo card, but I keep adding to it because I need to have 25 things to make a full grid, and I think I only have 20 at the moment. I have 22 things, and they are quite ambitious. I really don't think I'm going to be able to manage it, but I'm going to certainly try. But yes, I want to kind of keep coming up with projects, keep on with the ideas, but I do want to do more YouTube. I feel like YouTube has been so heavily neglected, and it's a foundational part of my internet experience. I find it very hard, given the content that I like to consume on YouTube. I am not that. I love heavy editing, beautiful, informational, aesthetic, informational, like informative, informational, is that a word? Anyway, informative content, well researched, beautifully done by pretty charismatic people who do wonderful creative things, that's heavily edited with music and with, makes you feel like you're watching a cool thing. I am not that. I do not have those high ranking crafting skills or the charisma to pull off I'm just learning, or the editing skills to make that entertaining. That's just so not within my skill set. And it's potentially a skill set that I might want to develop, but it's also a skill set that I think about doing and I'm just like, don't wanna. So, I don't really know how to address that between my personality and my skill sets and YouTube, because the content that I like to create is just so not in keeping with YouTube. And part of me is like, screw the system, I don't need to do what other people are doing. I'm unique, I'm cool, I'm awesome, I can do what I want. Peer pressure be damned. The other part of me is like, but if I wouldn't watch it, why would I produce it? Like, it's a classic, you know, for me, I don't think you should ever aspire to be an actor if you don't, like, go to see theatre shows. Or you shouldn't aspire to be a dancer if you don't go to dance shows. You shouldn't aspire to be an author if you don't read books. Why should I aspire to be good at YouTube when I don't want to do the editing? It's a weird dichotomy. But if you enjoyed this, then maybe I can do some more of this sort of thing where I basically just do what I do on Twitch, but with just myself to talk to. That sounds really egocentric. That sounds so egotistical of like, hi, I want to talk to myself for 15 minutes. But if that's what you guys want, I'm sure I can come up with a subject or two. I'm Excited was something that I kind of maybe want to get back into at some point. I really enjoyed Nosferatu, which I went to go see, but I've already done a rant on Twitch about it, about how, I did a rant about Dracula before I went to go see Nosferatu, so maybe I should do an I'm Excited about Nosferatu, but I kind of want to rewatch it, so I might need to wait until it comes out on digital media, and then I will talk about Nosferatu, because, ooh, that was interesting, but yes, I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with some more. I'm Excited. Obviously, Critical Role. Legend of Vox Machina is coming out at some point. Maybe the MCU will pull its head out of its arse at some point. I finally watched Loki. It was great. I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with something. But hopefully, if this year continues as so far it has, being actually not so bad, then maybe, just maybe, I will come up with some cool YouTube content. However, in the meantime, I am going to go have dinner. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. I'm going to give Mimi some screeches, because she's being a lovely little loaf right now. I keep looking at her. This is very hard for me to be like, I'm going to look at the camera when I'm just like, look at the loaf. She's giving me such side eye right now. Anyway, I'm going to do all of those things. I might stream later today. We'll see how the mood takes me. It's on my to-do list, so I should probably do it so I don't feel like I've neglected something today. But be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Let me know what you want from the YouTubiness. Let me know if there's anything specific that you're like, this is great, you should do more than that. If there's any subjects you want me to talk about in detail in the same sort of ad hoc way that I've done today. If there's any crafting projects or anything specific that you want me to kind of talk about here as well as talking about on Twitch, so we have posterity, so you can see it again, the equivalent of uploading a VOD, but maybe I'll repeat the information, or like maybe I can do like a Twitch redemption where it's like this subject in YouTube, where you guys who watch the Twitch, if I go off on a rant or I have a subject or something, you can redeem or like put in a vote for me to then rediscuss it for posterity on YouTube. I don't know, something like that maybe. Yeah, let me know. But I'm going to do an old school thing. I haven't done this for literally years. When I say literally years, I know I didn't do it at all in 2024. I doubt I did in 2023 because I don't think I did any videos this long. If you have watched to the end of this nearly hour-long video, you crazy fool, I want you to type, let's see, what would be good? Let's see, what haven't I discussed in this video? I want you to use the word scissors. I'm looking at the scissors from the Ren Fair hung up on the wall behind me. If you watched all the way to the video and you want to type a comment using the word scissors. You can be really blatant to just be like scissors, or you can be like, you know what I was thinking about the other day when I was talking about something scissors, something. Do that in the comments. It'll be our sneaky little, like, I know you finished the video endgame. So if you want to do that, please do type the word scissors in the chat if you watched all the way to the end. But thank you all for watching. Here's to 2025 being something of a year. And I will let you crack on with things. Oh, she's so distracting. She's just too cute. But yes, have a wonderful 2025. I hope it goes well for you guys. Touch wood. That's not real wood. I need something really wood. This year will be adequate, or successful, or whatever else. Onwards, upwards, round and through, one way or t'other. But yes, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and hopefully see you on multiple medias, not just Twitch. On Instagram, on Twitch, on YouTube, in Discord. And do you want to toss a coin as to whether or not I'm going to remember to put any of that information in the description? Because last year's